Hey guys, how you doing? We today are, a 30-minute train ride south of Katowice in the small city of Pszczyna. I might have over-exaggerated the ps, but I think that's how I heard it on the train. Anyway, let me show you the center of it all, and we'll explore a bit, get something to eat, and see what this small city is all about. For people that want to know how hot it is today, it is 33 degrees Celsius, which is bloody hot. And I should be showing you down yonder, but I got these balloons that have taken my attention. Car coming. Look at this right here. Isn't this pretty? Makes you feel like you're in one of those touristy areas. Huh. Cool. And then look at this. This is their old town area. This is one of their side streets. So this was a recommended place. I've been told basically the last year and some change that this was a city I had to come and check out. So that is what we're doing. And as you can see, it's very clean, very kid-friendly. And actually on the way in, it was... saw like a lot of cornfields, and you can tell that you're in the country. It's cool. You know how you can tell that it's summer in Poland? Everyone's eating ice cream. Everyone. Look at this building right here. Wow. Man, I think I saw a church in the background. So here's this cool looking building. We're not even out of like the center part. But I think this is what's going to happen. I'm going to just end up deviating and having us walk around because, you want to explore. So follow me. So right off of the central square, there is a church that you can clearly see. And it's got the adoration. It has sacraments, reading the sign. So we'll just go sneak in. And look at this. Look at this building right here. Look at this little symbol on the top of the door. Is that the Eye of Ra? Huh. So what's the over-under that we can get in? We're going to try. I didn't expect the painted ceilings. Look at this. This is amazing. And no one's in here right now. So here's the walkway. Here. Look at this place. Mary with Jesus. Look at the blues. These beautiful paintings on the side. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. Go to the altar real quick. Take a quick look up here. And then if you look right here, here's where the adoration is. Beautiful little chapel. And again, you have like the painted ceilings throughout. What a special little church. Wow. It's cool, guys. It's definitely more of what I would see when I was in like Permisal. And it's interesting because way up top, you have all these paintings of different people, but I don't think they're necessarily saints. I think they're famous citizens or something, a relationship to the community. All right, we'll go out this door. You can tell you're in a smaller community too, because they have a board right across from the church itself with people that have recently departed the earth and their service times. I always liked that. And I remember when I first noticed it when I lived in Brindisi, and I've seen it here too. And it's cool because we don't have that in the United States, at least not where I grew up. Now, away from the square, literally we're like a block over if you look from where we were, because we decided to go to the church. Oh my God, there's a Bison Center. If we go in here, this is the palace grounds, I believe. I think. Yeah, definitely. And I think the price is for 12 zloty. You can get a tour of this palace. If you remember some of my older stuff when we were in Berlin, and I ended up paying to go do a tour. And frankly, no offense, but you've been in one palace, you've been in them all at this point. But look at this. I like the outside grounds instead. I think that's something more to brag about and look at and be amazed. Now, if I remember right, the people that lived here, all right, I was going to quote some stuff that I read, but I don't remember it all now. I'm drawing blanks. But look at the lions. Look at the lions. They're over there, too. And, of course, you look out there, and then you turn, and then there are their fields right here that are now for public use. Pretty awesome. All right, we'll go this way. We're going to take a little side trail for a second, which is kind of cool. I always like grounds like this. You're seeing everyone who, well, there's a lot of couples out here. Of course, it's romantic. And they have their picnic blankets. I remember the writer in me as a kid, like this was something that I always wanted to visit the castles, at least when I was younger, just so I could see kind of like where the storyline would take place. And then look out over here, still more grass and lots of water here. The city name actually I think is derived from like a boggy lake or something like that. I'm sure some Polish viewers will correct me on it, but I'm pretty sure that that's what this is all in reference to as we go through the big surprise here, the non-load area. So here's another perspective of the palace. It's beautiful. I do have a confession to make, though. I don't think it's as beautiful as the one in Berlin that I saw a year and a half ago. That was a beauty. And the Mandarin ducks were oh so friendly. So here's your some of your water. It's like scattered throughout this. There's a big tree that fell over there, it looks like. And commenting about the trees, when I got off the train and I walked over here to the center of town to get my my apartment for the night, there were a lot of trees that had been down in the front circle. So I wonder if there was like a strong thunderstorm that came through or whatnot. Oh, this is beautiful. This is actually why I came here. I mean, yeah, I know I was told to come here, but I wanted to come for the water. I looked before. Originally, I was going to run in this area. Now we're kind of switching days, but just enjoying the walk for what it is. Beautiful. Anyone want to join me? I'm continuing to walk by along this path right here with the water. And all I can think of are a variety of different movies and books, stories from the 1700s and the 1800s. It really takes you back. I think it's one of those things where, compared to all of our other travels of late, it's definitely a place of more tranquility and just rest. And the people that live in this area, they clearly have something nice to appreciate and to use. It's lovely. It's nicely marked too, and there's lights for those people that are interested. Look at that tree. What is it? Is that an oak? That is beautiful. That tree can tell you stories. It can tell you stories about the royalty here, how this community used to fall under Katowice, how it traded on, how it became, it was basically being flipped back and forth between different rulers over the years, and how this community specifically, from the trade route, if I remember right, from Kiev across to, I forget what town, but I just know that this was like one of the trading posts, if you will, and a lot of merchants would stop here on the way, and they knew that they'd be protected because of all the marshes and the bogs. So this area became quite wealthy. This really is like a runner's, and it's a runner's dream, and it's like a romance dream. I mean, look at this bridge. Again, you go up it. You got water. You got canals on both sides. Someone is actually out there on a boat right now, doing their best Venice impression. And actually, I want to go over there. I have a feeling that this place has potential right over there. Can you see it? All right. I see more logs have fallen. The Bison Center is in the other direction. It's interesting. They have all these landmarks here, and it kind of throws you for a loop because they give you like a sign to go towards, but they really don't have anything else. Like they didn't have the sign, but I looked out and I found it, of their old cemetery. I guess of the family is what I'm thinking. So here we are. Let me show you this. This is the family plots of the Anhalts, the Grabestaten der Anhalts. It's from 1820. That's all I know. I can read that. And it's from Henry, and then the tombs of his parents, the Duke, the Duchess, the Princess Christine, all the good stuff. So let's take a look. So this is this is your family plot. Definitely different than the cemeteries we've seen of late. You got your center one stating the family's name. It is in German, which shouldn't be as a surprise since this was, part of Germany, I believe. And then you have each of these families' members, and no one's really refreshed them. And they're written in cursive, which is, come on camera, there we go. And they're written in cursive, which I guess is kind of cool. A bench, I don't know if this was here originally or not. If it was, I guess it's a place for reflection. And then we have here, it's kind of interesting to have that snake around the cross. You guys see that? Reminds me of the snake of Hygiena, the one for like health. But, and this is from someone who died in 1841. As you can see, it's pretty faded. The crosses. Well, I'm sorry, the camera's being moody. There you go. The snake is creepy. Snake is definitely creepy. Sometimes I don't understand my camera. I think it's possessed. And because I want to educate you, the snake one belongs to Duke Ludwig Anhalt, who was the Duke from here from 1830 to 1841. And it's a brick crypt, and that snake is actually a conventional romantic symbol of the resurrection. And it said it's the resurrection of the copper snake that appeared to Moses in anticipation of the agony and resurrection of Christ. Totally did not know that. Like I did not realize, because usually in biblical references, the snake, the serpent is in reference to Satan. So the fact that during the Romantic movement it meant resurrection, learn something new every day. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's a well. And me being constantly challenged, it's actually not a well. It is an ice cellar. And what they would do is during the wintertime, they would cut large chunks of ice from the water directly in front of us, which I'll show you momentarily, right here. And then they would cut them up in large chunks, and they'd bring them back there. They probably put sawdust over them to help with the preservation, but that's where they would have ice throughout the entire year, because the way that they do it and preserve it, and I actually watched a documentary on this stuff, not on here, but just where they did it back in New Hampshire, where there was a trade, where on the railroads they literally would ship blocks of ice down to Boston from the Lakes region, part of New Hampshire, but specifically the city of Wolfboro. But yeah, so this is where this family would store all of their ice. I like how the palace just kind of is right there, hiding out. I saw a sign for the bison again. It's a sign, guys. Do you know that the bison are friends with Jiki? A lot of interesting combinations of people out on these in this park. You actually have like your cyclists in their cycling gear. You have your families, and then you have like your couples, usually with a guy wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and the woman dressed to the nines in a good-looking dress. Interesting. A couple of them have had heels on too, which I find peculiar since these cobbles are not user-friendly. When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, that's amore. I know, I should have done Little Mermaid instead, right? Look at this, isn't this pretty? And there's a cafe right here. We found the cafe. Give you a better look. Up over the majestic bridge right here, bridge number 1. Wow. This is very sweet. And then they have the lights already set up here. Kind of reminds me of Christmas. Oh, some ducks. I don't know if you guys can see them. And then you come down here, and this is known as the tea house. And as you see, here's the tea house right here. Trying not to be obnoxious with my camera. So here's the tea house right here. Very cute. And it's open till like 8 o'clock at night. But probably more importantly, so you can drink your tea and do whatever you like. But look at your view right here. Look at the palace. Yes, the same palace I mocked earlier, but right there. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? That is pretty. This was a good call. Good call. Cool place to visit. Still a little hot though, 33 degrees. Kind of wilting. It is, it was funny. I didn't want to stay too long at that tea house because I actually had more stairs than I usually get. I think this is more of like a local secret spot. Not really a busy one for all tourists. Let alone a guy with a camera, even though it's small. All right, well, we're now crossing over the street and we're going into bison territory. No guarantee that we'll see one. Holding out we will. The first bison were brought here in 1865. Oh my God. And it's weird. They say bison, but then I see the Jika Promenade right here. Uh-oh. Does that mean we're going to run into Jiki as well? Or are baby bison also Jiki? I don't know. I don't know enough. What I have learned, though, is the palace grounds were 160 hectares. I should really know what a hectare is acreage-wise, but I don't. So I apologize, but 160. And it was basically divided into two parts now. The railway section and then, I guess, the palace section. And so they thought it would be nice to bring the bison here so that the deer would have someone to hang out with. I'm sure there was a better explanation, but I like that one. You know, or maybe you don't know, I was just reflecting as I'm still walking to meet up with these bison that Jiki also translates to wild, right? So maybe they just meant wildlife. I just realized that since I have a stuffed friend whose name is Jiki. So if you make the mistake to come visit this part of the palace grounds, just realize it's completely fenced. I think there is a viewing area, though. I just caught a glimpse of some guys, but it's a bit of a walk. And I don't know why I just assumed it was going to be free. It's because I do. It's not. It is not free. There is a price. Well, that was awesome. I am dying from the heat, sweating profusely, and we walked all this way for nothing. I'm not paying 26 lati to go see some bison. I thought they... All right, guys. Also in this area, behind us, are something like the Three Oaks, which is in the vicinity. It's a burial area for the Polish soldiers that lost their lives in a battle against the Germans back in 1939. And I just heard some crying. All right, let's go back into the city proper. So here's the typical block the sidewalk, well, block the path. That's so common here. One of my pet peeves when I'd be out here running, and you can see it up ahead too. And a few minutes ago, before the awful walk to the Bison Park, it was the cyclist. So like I paused it, but like this couple, like literally, I'm walking and they still walked right towards me. That is something I have yet to understand about Poland, and it's baffling. And then you have a jackass like that weaving in and out. Huh. Now here's a little known fact that Mr. Telemann, George Philip, he was a composer. Well, I wasn't to tell you, but this guy just backed into me because in clear, typical fashion here, no personal space. I know I gripe about it, but it's true. It's just freaking retarded. It's like, and when I mean that, I mean slow, dull-witted. So anyway, what I was saying, George Philip Telemann right here, he is a famous composer who spent time in this town before he became Mr. like the known guy that he was. And by the way, I was right here, and the guy literally was rubbing up on me. Ridiculous. So you're back into the center of it all. It's funny, there's a lot more to this town than just this. I will say though, this part of town, away from the palace, like just across the street, reminds me a lot of Lubliniec. Got some breweries, I think. Zapianki, bubble tea. And then see, there's like these little side streets too. It's interesting. I didn't expect it to be this busy at 5 o'clock on a Sunday night. I thought maybe it'd be a little bit quieter. But then again, I remembered the more that I walk, and now that I'm back here in Poland, I'm remembering how Sundays were always the busy days where all the families went out, especially in Krakow. So I shouldn't be so surprised now that I reflect on that. I don't know what we're going to do for dinner. We're going to take a minute and walk outside of the center, if you will, and see if we can find something else off the beaten path. It's interesting, like, the other part of town isn't anything like this. So this, like, old town feel, which actually reminds me of, I forget, my friend and I, we went to look at Poland's desert. And then we ended up in this town around all these old castles near the eagle's nest. And anyway, this kind of reminds me of that, because there was like a palace in this one town. It was run down. And to get to it, you actually would have like farms and stuff like that. But yeah, but here, just a little bit different. A little bit slower pace. Oh, well, they're closed today. Well, this is cute. Look at this little sales job here. We got this cow trying to sell some stuff. And I see a Chinsky market, which I think I did that joke last year. I thought it was a Chinese place. I don't think it is. I don't know where I am, guys. Well, I know the town. I just don't know. As I said, I wanted to get out of the old town and just see what else was out here. It's so hot, it's like I can't think straight right now. We have a kebab place. That's exciting. Wow, we're really in paradise now, guys. I feel like we've gotten out of the prim and proper. I got some like farm stuff way over there in the corner. I don't want kebab. I'm not trying to sound elitist. All I feel like I've had lately is just meat. That was exciting, huh? You saw me filming. Clearly wanted to show you guys. Oh, that's all I can fucking smell now. Well, my quest for food led me to just going to Żabka. Not because there aren't choices, although some choices I wanted to eat at are closed already. But I realized I needed to get breakfast because my apartment doesn't have it. One thing I wanted to add before I sign off is it's interesting, for a town of 25,000, there's a consistent flow of people in and out on the street. And this is just a couple side streets over from the main square. I'll leave you with some pictures I took of my walk in, a little bit of footage of the train. Not much. Yeah, I gotta go rest, guys. I'm sorry. Till next time, some other city, some other place. Peace.